of the links that we have in the slides, then you'll be able to click on those and go to them afterwards. So let's get started. So the first area we're going to look at here is the TD Summer Reading Club staff website. So I'm just going to go into that, and what I'm going to go through with everybody today is just these two sections here. The other ones you can explore yourselves and take a look at those, but these ones are really the two main ones that you'll be using when you're running your summer reading program. So we'll start right into that first one. So running the program. This is very detailed, and it's a very great way to basically introduce yourself to TD Summer Reading Club and what it's all about and how to get your program going. So if you're new to TD Summer Reading Club, this is a great place to start. The site does a really great way of laying everything out for you and has a ton of resources here available. So I'm just going to kind of scroll down and show you kind of what they have. So they have a bit of a description about what the TD SRC is, why you should run the program, and how it's important to build lifelong love of reading in your communities. It talks about the registration of participants and collecting statistics, running the program and how to use the reading logs if you've ordered those, tracking the reading on the reading logs or on the website, talks about goals and incentives, planning activities. It has a little section here that you can read through. And then it talks about what's on the kids website. So we will pop over to the kids website briefly after this, but I will go through this here to explain what will be coming on June 12th. So on June 12th is when the kids website actually comes live, and that's when you have access to all these other features that the kids will see. And so on the kids site, they'll be able to create an online notebook where they can log their reading. They can read ebooks, and so these are available here, and as it says, there's no waiting list or restrictions, so that's all available on the website. They can vote in the Battle of Books, which is a lot of fun, so they can see, you know, which book is their favorite at the end of the summer. Kids can review books, participate in weekly trivia, write stories, read and write jokes. They can read the webcomic that's posted. And they can do author illustrated readings and workshops. There's coloring sheets, and they can find books with the recommendations that are posted on the site as well. So there's a ton of very user-friendly options for kids to be able to participate online with the reading club. And so I'll scroll down. So they have additional links here to biblio videos. So this is videos that relate to Canadian books for children. So I suggest checking out those links as well. And then they have links to, you know, their community members who are posting things. They have information about the story walk. And then they have a link here to their newsfeed, which is always updated with new TD SRC information. So that is kind of the main page here. Next, we'll go down to theme. So this one's really quick, but the theme this year is check it out. And the thing that I'll highlight on this page is that it's only meant to guide you in developing your programs. It's not supposed to be the public facing theme. So you wouldn't want to post like, we're doing TD SRC, check it out. That's not what the theme is intended to do. It's just intended to guide you in your planning. Next, we'll move on to promotion. And so they set you up with a lot of great promotional materials. This one, they just give you different ideas of what you can do. So they have a teaser video that you can always post on your social media if you want. And they give you all of their social media handles in here. So if you're linking to or you want to share it, then you can always include their social media accounts to kind of connect more with the TD SRC community across the country. So that's really nice. Moving down, they give you different ideas about promotion. So you can promote on your own library's website, in schools, And the nice thing here is when you're presenting in schools, they actually give you some pre-made presentations already made up that you can use, which is really handy. So you can kind of just pop those open and swap out any information you need. And that's, you know, very easy to use. They also have some activity presentations. So this one's like a silly story that you can fill in with the kids if you want to do an activity when you visit their class, or this one's an escape room game. And I would say if you don't use these for a presentation while you're visiting schools, you could always use this as a program as well during the summer, because it's something that's already made up and very, very easy to implement. So those are options there. And then scrolling down, there's just some more materials that you can use when you're connecting with your community. So with parents of the community, with caregivers in the community, they have that all here. And then just a few more ideas at the end about decorating your library and getting your read on for summer reading, and then different advertisement options too. Next is the print elements of the program, which I'll actually just pop back into, if I can see it, sorry, the presentation, and go forward is the print materials that are on their way. So these are the current print materials that we've received. So we have the school age and pre-reader notebooks that if you've ordered will be on their way shortly. In the next few weeks, you should see those arriving at your libraries. Included with that as well is the stickers. So there are stickers for the logbooks as well as the web access code stickers. And those are used on the kids' website when they're logging in or creating an account for the TD SRC site. And I'll also mention too, if you didn't order web stickers, or if you run out of web stickers, it's not necessary that you have those, because they do have a generator built right into the kids site. So you won't miss out if you don't actually have those web stickers. The kids can still participate online. The next, as some of you may remember from previous years from doing this, they did the little fortune teller cookies. This year it's a little different. They're doing these little foldable bookmarks, which are pretty cute. So they can be folded up and then stuck on the corner of a book. These brochures have been created to, and they have the recommended reads on them. And I believe it's in French and English, so that will be there as well. And then there's some posters that will be sent that you can either hang up in your library or around your community to let people know that TD Summer Reading Club is happening. So that is the print materials. And now I'll just pop back to the website. So yeah, I just kind of went over everything here, but this does contain all of the print materials digitally. So if you do happen to run out, and let's say you contact us and we have extras, that's fine. But if we don't end up having any extras, you can come to the site and you can actually access and print things off yourself from here. So that is an option for you if materials run out. The next section is planning for accessibility. So if you want to build accessibility into your programming, there are options here for you as well. So there's awareness about disabilities, accessibility resources, providing different reading formats. So that is all laid out in this section here, and there's a ton of information. So that's another great one. Submitting your statistics, that is here, but I'm not going to go into great detail about it because Jessica will be explaining it later in our presentation. So I'm going to skip by that one. Same with the next section is the library awards. So she will talk a little bit more in depth about this later on. And then finally the CELA accessibility award, and same thing with that one. She'll chat about that later on. So now we'll go to the resources tab and go through those. So the first one is the recommended reads. And again, Jessica will be going through this briefly when she's presenting about the recommended reads and how to access them and everything, but they are here on the page. And now I'll go into activities. Oh, sorry, getting a little dry. All right. So for the activities, this page is actually really, really helpful. So they've already got pre-made program ideas here on this page that's very in depth. So they tell you whether it's a craft or a short activity. They give you an age range and the approximation of how long the activity takes. And you can click into it and it gives you the whole description. And then the other nice thing about this is at the very bottom, they have all of these activities saved as PDFs. So you can download it and you can always print this off if you want to reference it later on. Or like if you're not at a computer while you're working on your programming, then you can print it off and have it there. So it's really, really cool that they have all of these options here for everybody to make use of. I'm sure everybody has a ton of amazing ideas, but sometimes it's nice to be able to borrow other ones that are already made and prepped. So there's a bunch on here that you can take a look at. I will highlight this one though, because I think it's really cool. But you cut out the dinosaur templates and then you put it in front of different backgrounds. And so it makes the texture of the dinosaur look different. So I thought that was a really cool one. But yeah, so I definitely recommend taking a look at these different activities that they have shared here. Next is templates and guidelines. So this is just a part of their branding that they have available for you to use. So here they have different documents that you can use to promote and share with your community. And that's all here, and it all has all of their branding built right in. And they have it in different languages as well, so that is easily accessible here. And then the next one I will point out is the images. So you can access these images and put them on your posters. You can put these on if you're using Library Aware to make your posters and your doing your marketing, then you can always add the stuff that they have in here. So they have all these images. They have some backgrounds available. They have different coloring pages. So if let's say you're doing different challenges throughout the summer, you can always maybe print off a coloring page and do a coloring page contest for your patrons. And then they have their logos at the bottom as well. So they have different iterations of those that you can use in your marketing. Next is the program forms. And so these are all accessible here. These are samples. So if you already have a form or if you don't know how to make one up, you can always come here and you can always add additional things. So in let's say the registration form, we'll pop over to that really quick. You can go in there. They ask for first name, age, school, and if they've ever joined before. The nice thing about this is you can always add the school names here and then it'll auto populate in the form once you have that filled in. So that's kind of nice. It keeps you from having to start from scratch, but you can always add additional information that you might need. So if you need phone number or email contact because you're trying to give away prizes at the end of summer, then you can always add those in. And then next is the NFB films. So there's a bunch of National Film Board videos that have been uploaded here that you can use to kind of help support your summer reading club. I highly recommend checking that out and going through here. And then finally, there are 3D print files that are available as well. So these are really cool. You can make, if you have a 3D printer, you can use these files, you can download them and then maybe use these as prizes or even use these as something for the kids to do themselves if they're learning how to use the 3D printer. So yeah, so this website is really, really great. It really walks you through everything and has a ton of resources here. I apologize. One moment. Sorry about that, everyone. I'm getting through something right now. Okay, so we'll head over to the kids site. I'll just go over this briefly because I don't know how much longer my voice will hold out. So this is the kids site. It looks a little bit different now than, I'm really sorry. It looks a little bit different now than it did or will once it releases.
Poor Christine. Would you like me to do my part now so that you can take a little break? Christine has been a trooper and slugging through some smoke-induced challenges here this week. So I'm going to just, we're just going to stop the tour here for now, and I'm going to jump into talking to you a little bit more about the really amazing list of books that TD SRC has pulled together. So I'll get you to flip forward a couple slides there, Christine. There you go. Okay, so every year, TD SRC, of course, puts together a full list of recommended reads for all age levels. The reads align very nicely with the theme of the TD SRC, but as I went through them this year and in years past, these are books that would align with so many summer reading club themes, you know, regardless of what it is that you're working on. So highly recommended that you go through it. Some of you have ordered the brochure that you can hand out to folks as part of their TD, as part of the Summer Reading Club sign up. Otherwise, you can go through the resources that Christine has just shown, because you can print off lists of these books as well. So I just want to show you a couple of ways to access these lists of books. The first, of course, is I'm just going to share my screen here. Bear with me. The first, of course, so Christine, what I'm doing is I'm actually stopping your screen share of the slides and opening up mine here for now. There we go. So in the resources section is the list of recommended reads and all of the books that they recommend that you pull together or share with kids. I've been through them, just some phenomenal titles. And there's one that has totally caught my eye that I've just put a hold on. And it is about a young Indigenous boy in 1978, a year after Elvis has died. And am I not sharing my screen? Oh, thank you, Penelope. All right, now you can see it here. And just to backtrack here, I hopped into resources and then recommended reads. And just like I said, a phenomenal list of recommended reads. Elvis, Me, and the Lemonade Summer Stand, which I've already put on hold. I highly recommend you do as well. So this is the full list of recommended reads for TD SRC. I'm just going to hop back to the slides here. Bear with me. There is a list of recommended reads on the kids site too, so if you want the kids to have a look at them, no problem. The challenge with these recommended reads lists, here, I'll just share the screen here, is that it's not good enough to have a list. You need to be able to get your hands on the actual book in order to show it to the kids. And so in addition to the recommended reads, we've created a couple of resources for folks to use. The first is the featured book lists on the YRL website. So I know you guys are all familiar with the new websites that have been launched for all of your libraries. We have one too. And one of the really cool things about our website is that we're able to feature book lists on topics that are of importance to our member libraries. And I'm just going to digress a little bit, if that's okay. A fantastic selection of professional development books curated by Penelope on here, but also a full list of the TD Summer Reading Club books that are here and linked to track. So put your holds, you've heard it here first, get your holds on, get those in so that you can have a look at them because it's such a great list of books. So this link will be available in the PowerPoint presentation that we will share out, but also just from our YRL HQ website, yrl.ab.ca, where you can go in and look at lists of books that we have in track for 0 to 5, 6 to 8, and 9 to 12. Now, if some of these books really catch your eye and you'd like to have copies of them for your collection, the other resource that we've pulled together, I'm not going to link into this right now because it's going to ask me to log in and then you'll all see me struggle finding my login ID and password to CCD. CCD, for those of you who might not do collections for your library, stands for Coordinated Collection Development, and it's a place where we can provide a one-stop shop experience for book titles for libraries. So those of you that use this, you're familiar with going in and finding the hot lists and other books. We also create curated lists for purchasing on here, and there's one on here for all of the recommended reads for TD SRC. So if you do want to purchase copies of these items for your library, this is the one-stop shop to be able to very quickly find them, order them, and get the copies to your library before summer starts. Before I move on, and I should have asked this before I took over from Christine, are there any questions? And you can pop them in the chat if you like. Will these links be posted? Leah, that is a great question, 100%. So we're going to actually share the recording with all of YRL staff. We can share this PowerPoint presentation with those of you who are here today as well. We can just send that to you right via email, and then you can share those with your managers or with other colleagues who are interested in looking at these materials. So great question. Are there any other questions? Yeah, you're welcome, Leah. All right, I'm going to hop on over to the next slide here. And this is statistics and reporting. Penelope and Christine gave this to me because they think it's the most boring part of TD SRC. And I think it's the most exciting part of TD SRC. Yes, keeping statistics can be a real challenge, especially after you're done a program or you've just had a full day of signing up kids. And the last thing you want to do is sit down with your tick sheet and keep track of what's been going on. But keeping statistics is really important, not only because the TD SRC folk really like to see what it is that you're doing, because it helps, it really helps demonstrate the program's efficacy across the country and helps them get the funding for this so that we can continue to have this free program and all these free resources. But you can use these statistics for your own advocacy in your own library. It goes without saying that the Summer Reading Club is typically the single most important program that the library puts on every year. It reaches kids that you may not have been able to reach any other time during the year, families, etc. And this is your opportunity to really let your library shine. So you're keeping statistics about how many families you reached, how many programs you ran. Maybe you're pulling in some qualitative statistics, just like stories from kids and parents about like cool things that they've done in the programs they've attended at your library, or how they felt about being able to read books. All of this stuff starts to tell a story about the impact of your library on your community. So that's why I get so excited about statistics, is because, yep, they're a pain in the bum to keep, but boy, do they tell an amazing story to your board, to your funders, to your municipalities. So let's talk a little bit about what statistics TD SRC wants you to keep. And I went through the form. They actually haven't released the 2023 statistics form yet, but they have posted all of the 2022 information on their 23 site. And I can tell you, after years of looking at this, these statistics that they request don't typically change. And they're nice basic statistics for you to be able to keep, not only for TD, but like I said, to share the story of your Summer Reading Club with your funders. So if you're looking for information about what to pull, there is a link on the resource site for forms and support for statistics. So this whole statistics page, don't get super overwhelmed by it. Just have a look at the survey form. This will give you an idea of what they're going to be asking in 2023. Pardon me while I open this here. This typically gets posted by the end of August, the beginning of September. So you're keeping your stats all summer long, but you're not asked to report them until a little bit later. So they'll send you a sheet that looks like this. It's asking you things around the language that you've delivered your program in. And we certainly do have some bilingual and French programs. Shout out to Beaumont for sure. And I know many others do bilingual programming. Who you're reaching out for, how many people and how many sites you're reaching out to, the age groups that you're working with. This question around a third-party platform, some libraries, I'm not aware of any in YRL at this time, but I know it's happened in the past, do like to develop and use their own platform. So they kind of do a Frankenstein SRC, and I mean that in the best way, SRC program where they're using the best parts of TD SRC and the best parts of, kind of their own imagination and putting together a website. For those of you running SRC programs in the scary summer of 2020, you know that we put together our own SRC site province-wide. So that would be an example of that. They want to know how many children have participated, number of programs that you put together. They want to know what promotional items you used. It just helps them in planning for the future year. So this is just a sense of what it is that they're going to be asking for. But if you want a handy dandy little form to actually just keep track of all of this stuff on a regular basis, the best link here is, they call it a registration form, but it's just a lovely little Excel spreadsheet where you can keep track of the key statistics that you need for SRC. Here, I'm just going to bring this over here for you. So those of you who love Excel, and I know some of you are out there, here's an example of a registration form and some of the statistics that you can keep. You don't have to use this. You really can, keep statistics however you like. They can be a tick sheet on your desk, scrap of paper that you keep in your pocket, no big deal. Just know, I just want you to have a sense of what it is that you need to collect so that when TD SRC comes to you in the fall asking for info, you have it ready to go. So the other really important piece around statistics, not only for TD SRC, but like I said, for telling your story to your funders and to your board, are the stories. How did your program impact the people in your community? And for this, you're going to want to collect, you can do little surveys. You can put out whiteboards and have people write down, like, what was your favorite thing about the TD SRC? You can have kids draw a picture about their favorite thing about the TD SRC. Be really creative about how you collected these statistics, because really you're wanting to know the impact, right? So yes, you can do a survey, and there's some sample surveys on here, but be creative. Have the kids draw pictures, have the kids write on whiteboards. I got more ideas in my head. They're not coming to my mind right now, but you guys are great programmers and super creative in how you can engage with kids on this. I know that some libraries have reading charts that they put on the wall, and the kids get to put a sticker on there every time they've read a book, all different ways that you can capture the impact of your program. I'm just going to hop back to the PowerPoint presentation here. The other reason that statistics are important to keep is because if you want to qualify for a TD SRC award, which is a significant monetary value, or you want to qualify for receiving a free TD SRC Story Walk kit the following year, you have to have filled out your statistics. They're sneaky that way. They're not going to give you all the good stuff until you give them your data. So definitely keep all of that in hand. So the other survey, and we promise that we'll keep this brief, that you will get in September is a little, we want to know more about your program too. So we're not going to be asking you really detailed statistics about your program. That's, those are yours, right? But we want to know success stories. We want to know if there's ways that we can support you in applying for one of the awards, if there's ways that we can amplify your successes through our own social media channel or through our newsletter. And we want to have your feedback on where you think we shone and where we think we might have fell down in terms of our support for you with Summer Reading Club over the summer. So that's going to be, I promise, a very brief survey that you will get in September as well. So that's statistics and reporting. And are there any questions about that before I move on? Okay, I want to show you just a couple more things on the TD SRC site. So certainly the submitting statistics page will be updated with some 2023 survey forms, hopefully fairly soon. For those of you who are interested in applying for an award, there's been some phenomenal things coming out of YRL libraries over the past couple of years, and we've got to get better at working with libraries to get you get your applications in for the award, because look at the prizes: $8,000, $4,000, or $2,000. That's a significant chunk of change that you can use to purchase materials for your library. So if you are thinking that you are planning a program this year that's gonna be amazing, let us know and we can help you put together an awards application for this as well. All right, I think that I've covered everything. Christine and Penelope, was there anything that I've missed before I turn things over to Penelope? Awesome. All right, I'm going to mute my camera and have Penelope take over.
Okay, sure. Hello, everyone. Just one moment as we get the PowerPoint back up. Okay, so can you go to Beanstack, please? So the one thing that, I don't know how many of you have run the TD SRC before, but one thing that's kind of new for our libraries this year is the integration of Beanstack. So Beanstack is a new app that is used by our libraries. It's an e-resource we've purchased. So I'm just going to briefly go through what it is. It's basically a way of getting your readers to log their reading and then compete in challenges and stuff. It kind of gamifies reading a little bit to hopefully encourage reading and increase interaction with your library. So the main premise would be they enter challenges. So there's specific challenges they can enter depending on their ages, and then they can log their reading. And as they log their minutes or their books, they'll earn these fun little badges. And they're also able to compete with any friends that they may add, which sort of makes the competition a little bit steeper and encourages reading a little bit more for me, especially. As you can see, I definitely need to catch up with Laura here because she's crushing me over minutes logged. But that's kind of the main premise of Beanstack. If you can go to the next slide, Jessica. So this year there will be TD SRC challenges on Beanstack that directly tie into TD SRC. So as you can see from the image here, it matches the logbooks that are coming out this year, and it will be on the same theme of check this out. However, there will also be additional activities, which you can see on the right-hand side here. Something like building a reading fort with pillows and blankets. And then once a kid completes that, they get this fun little owl badge. So it just sort of expands it a little bit more with some fun activities that people can do. And then can you go to the next slide? And it will be available in school age and pre-reader, just like the logbooks, and it will also be available in English and French. So everything will be covered the same as TD SRC. We also have added the recommended reads to the Beanstack website, so that's another way that kids can directly see what the recommended reads are through the app. And it's just another way to engage them online and also get them using Beanstack, hopefully past TD SRC, so they can keep interacting with your library even more. You go to the next slide, please. The other way that you can incorporate Beanstack is you can add drawings to challenges. So this would be drawings for physical prizes if you want to give out prizes as part of your summer reading program. And these can be connected to a specific challenge, such as the TD Summer Reading Club. And you can make it so that they're specific to only your library and patrons. You're not going to be giving prizes to someone else's library. And you can pull your winner through Beanstack, and you can download all the reports on who entered. So it's just a really great way to, again, kind of blend the online and the in-person aspects and get kids excited about reading and excited about prizes, because who doesn't love prizes? Okay. And then if you are interested in Beanstack, you can create an account and just email us and we will give you admin access. So you can let us know your name, library, and email, and we'll give you that back-end access so you can see things like who's entered in challenges, you can pull drawings, you can run reports to see how many patrons from your libraries are signed up and that kind of stuff. We also have a Niche Academy tutorial that we've created with lots of little videos from Beanstack about how to use them. And you can also sign up for a Beanstack training session at the link below. They normally run them about once a month and they're pretty thorough. And it's just a really great little app that I think if we get a lot of people using during the summer, it could really take off. You can get kids competing with their friends, trying to get the badges. It's just a fun way to kind of gamify reading. And I think that's it. So now that we're done, does anyone have any questions first about Beanstack?
All right. So we would love to hear from you. We can unmute your mic if you have it, or if you want to type in the chat. We'd like to hear a little bit about the plans that you might have in place. And I see Leah has asked a question, how do families sign up? Christine and Penelope, do you want to address that?
Are you asking how families sign up for Beanstack or TD SRC?
Oh, good question.
Beanstack. Okay. So the way they can sign up is they can they can click from your e-resources page. There should be a link for Beanstack directly there. They can create one account for a family that will have kids added as readers under it. When you're going through the account creation process, it will be like, do you want to add another reader to this account? So it's pretty self-evident that they can create a family account. Or if you have admin access in the back end, which you just need to ask us for and we can give it to you, then you can sign people up in the back end if that's easier for them.
Yeah, that's a great question. Beanstack is a new addition to the list of YRL e-resources, and Christine and Penelope are the experts on it. And we have all been really nerding out, and I use that word in like the best possible way, about Beanstack. It is just such a great tool to be able to provide some passive and digital programming in a fun way. And Jalen says, Jalen, we're in the process of hiring a summer student to run this program. We're excited to start the planning process. Yes. And Karen, I just saw your Seba Beach posting go out today too. So for those of you who may still be awaiting summer students, I have a question for you. It's always really difficult for us to figure out the best timing for this sort of introductory session, right? We know that libraries are getting started in planning and they need this overview, but there's still like the students still haven't come. Would it be helpful to run another session similar to this with some sharing? Like we can run it as a meeting opportunity for the students, maybe in mid to late June. You can let us know in the chat here if this is something you'd be interested in, because that's fairly easy for us to pull together. Karen says absolutely. Yeah. Late June might work. Yeah. It's a really nice way for all of the summer students that are running summer reading clubs and YRL to kind of get to they meet each other online, they get to know each other, they create a little bit of a network. Yeah. Oh, Leah, you're the summer student for Drayton and you're hired already. That's fantastic. Yeah. Yes. So let's leave that with us and we'll chat about what just sort of a online meetup could look like for an hour, just to allow people to meet each other. By that point too, I'm guessing there'll be some more firm summer SRC programs that people can share and talk about as well. Yeah, maybe creating a sort of network for the summer reading coordinators for summer. Exactly, Shannon. That's perfect. All right, Christine, do you want me to wrap the session up? How's your voice doing?
It's okay now.
Okay, okay, I'll be quiet then and I'll turn things over to you to wrap it up.
I'll maybe just where are we at with time? We have about we have some time left.
A little bit of time, yeah.
Maybe I will share my screen and I'll pop back to the kids website just to give everybody kind of a peek, because I couldn't actually get to that, so I apologize.
I've just stopped my share, Christine, so you can share your screen and do what you need.
Let's see.
And while you're doing that, Leah says, this is my second summer planning the program. It would be great to collaborate on such an open-ended theme. I agree. Yeah. This whole idea of play and being outdoors and exploring, it's pretty phenomenal.
Mm-hmm. All right, so again, back to the kids website. I apologize about earlier. So it does look different now than what it will look like on its live launch date, which is June 12th. So that's when TD SRC kind of officially begins. And so right now they have a few, I think, different like placeholders on the website before they go live, but they have some information about the program itself, how kids can participate. So it goes through that here. Ways to raise a reader. There's information here. So it does explain about the pre-readers and the school-age children on the website. It has the program materials here, so it kind of gives a little sneak peek at what they can expect to see at their libraries. And again, gives some more information about each of the print materials that you'll be receiving soon. It does talk a bit about the accessibility of TD SRC. So there's a ton of information on here, which is great. And then again, it goes into the recommended reads list. So that is all on here. And then the meet the artist. So this is just a little bit of information about the creators of the different images for this year's TD SRC. So like I said, this is a bit different than what it will look like on the go live date. But there will be tons of really cool stuff for kids on here. I know in the past when I've run the program, we've registered the kids up while we've done this, and it was a great success. A lot of the kids really enjoyed the website. We also helped them pick their usernames. So one of the things we did was, pick an animal, pick your favorite number, and pick your favorite color. And then that would be their usernames. So, and we would write that down for them. So it's just kind of a handy way to, make it fun and interactive for them when they're creating their usernames. So, yeah. And if anybody has any other questions for us or wants to share anything, feel free to put that in the chat. I believe that's everything I had left on the websites. I'll pop back into the slides. I think we got through those as well. Oh, and the last thing. So keep your eyes peeled for the release of our brand new kit. Penelope and I ordered some stuff this week that we're really, really excited to share with everybody soon. So that will be coming, and it will be a very, very popular summer kit once we have it out. So be aware, if you're wanting it for the summer, you're gonna have to jump quick because it's gonna be a good one.
Christine and Penelope, do you have typically we launch these in a Wednesday newsletter, so that's a tip to you all. Do you have a date yet for when it will be launched, so these guys can hop right on as soon as it's launched? Because I've seen it, half of it's sitting on Christine's desk right now. I don't want to give it away, but it will align with so many summer reading club themes.
Well, I'm waiting for the rest of it. Like the materials itself should be arriving this week. The thing we'll be waiting for is the books that go along with the kit. So, we might be able to actually release the kit without the books sooner, and then maybe add the books as they come in, and that would maybe give everybody an opportunity to have it a little quicker. But because we are going to be waiting on the books, it's tough to say. So,
okay,
like I said,
right.
Keep your eyes peeled. Like the little.
You heard it here first. And there's some really great chit chat in the chat around some shared programming with local museums, which just sounds phenomenal. So
museum programs were the most popular last year. Oh yeah, and Seba Beach. I know another great resource in some communities for partnership for programming is if you have one, a local FCSS. They always have a lot of great things going on, and sometimes they have funding that you can apply for as well. So if you have an FCSS in your community, definitely reach out to them because they've got some great options for you too. So yeah, there's tons of partnerships that you can make for Summer Reading Club, which can be a lot of fun, and it's a great way to, you know, connect with your community even more. You're collaborating with an upcoming agricultural society too. Oh, that's such a good idea as well.
These types of collaborations, just because I guess I must think with a manager and a director brain all the time, but I'm thinking, boy, these collaborations will look great on grant applications. So yeah, this is all really good. Yeah, and even your, you know, your local schools, a lot of times, even like local stores and shops, a lot of them too like to donate to help support the reading club as well. So it gets their name out there when it comes to, you know, the community and maybe seeing who's supporting, and when they get their products out there, then the community will sometimes go back and buy them there too. So there's tons and tons of options for partnerships. We like to go somewhere different every Monday for Mystical Mondays to explore somewhere in town. That's a really cool idea too. See, I love hearing about everybody's different summer reading ideas. So Penelope and Christine, I think our next step here, just based on what we're hearing from these folks, is a sharing circle in mid-June. Attendees, does mid-June sound like it would be an okay date, especially if we ran it online and you didn't have to give up a full day or give your programmer up for a full day to come to Spruce Grove? No answers. They must be stunned with the amazing idea. We got one yes. Oh, thumbs up. Yes, online is great. Okay. Awesome. All right. That sounds really good. Yeah, we can definitely have something like that going. And how much more time? We have 10 minutes left. You know what? I'm going to give you a bonus something. So on the internet, when you go there, we do have, oh wait, am I still sharing my screen? You are. Great. Okay. In the programming section, there is a summer reading program spot. So we'll have everything uploaded on the summer reading program section, like this presentation, as well as the slides will be here. But what I'm going to show you now actually is the program repository. So we have been slowly trying to get the news out there that this exists for all of our member libraries. But this is a place where you can upload and download programs that are shared from the different libraries in our system. So if we go into the teens one here, then we can see a couple or a few different programs that have been uploaded here. I'll go back. We have programs in the kits area. So recently during our Kids Day, we ran a few programs that were really successful, and a lot of people enjoyed them. So all of the information about them is in here, and you can download these. And when you download them, it's basically a whole program that is prepared for you that you can implement. So the kits ones align with the YRL kits, but there's different age groups that you can also connect with as well, or upload your own. So it tells you all the materials, all the different kind of rules that we used when you ran it. And so that is here. So that is another resource for you to be able to access when you're creating programs for your TD SRC. So we're hoping, oh, sorry, there we go. We're hoping as the word gets out that we have this wonderful sharing place on our internet, that more and more programs will be uploaded for you to share and download with each other. So that's kind of the extra tidbit everybody got this afternoon. That's great. Thank you, Christine. And then I think after this googly-eyed meerkat is the thank you everybody for joining us this afternoon for the Summer Reading Club Refresher. Thank you, everyone. It was great to see you, and keep your eyes peeled for the kit and an announcement very shortly around the informal sharing circle for you or your summer students or other staff who weren't able to attend today. Thanks. Bye, everyone. Bye, Karen. Thanks. Bye, Leah.